Hey, and welcome to FCRB TV. It's Friday morning. All the Gunners have been traveling back from the Metropolitano in Madrid as Arsenal were eliminated from the Europa League in the semifinals, second leg, 2-1 on aggregate. One of our old nemesis has come to haunt us again, Diego Costa with the goal. I think that the writing's on the wall for all Arsenal fans, supporters to see that all those years of saying Wenger out, it's not his fault. It was never his fault. We're gonna find out this summer. We're gonna see this summer how deep the rabbit hole goes in terms of how destructive Ivan Gazidis and Stan Kroenke and his family have been to Arsenal Football Club. Those people don't care about the club. They haven't allowed Wenger to really build the squad. The players that we had on the pitch last night are just not good enough. Hector Bellerin, I mean, he's kind of easy to pick on, and I'm not really going to pick on him, but mate wasn't good enough. Danny Welbeck, why do you think Man United let go of top players to rival clubs? No, they do not do that. They don't. So for Danny Welbeck to come to Arsenal, we should be like, nah, we don't want him. We know he's not good enough. But what did we do? We took him, but we took him because the price range was right. Everything that we do now is about the price range. And it's been like that ever since Stan Kroenke came on board. And then Gazidis joined him. That's what they're doing. For as poor as we've been this season, and for all the years that we've been struggling recently, and in the last 12 years we've struggled domestically, but we've been able to get a couple FA Cups. Great. But in that time, in all that time, we still can attract someone of the likes of Luis Enrique, and for all of those who know all that he's been demanding to become the manager in terms of salary, in terms of transfer kitty, it lets you know what it's going to take to be successful, and for Ivan Gazidis to let it be known that he has an affinity for Mikel Arteta to become the manager just goes to show that it's about money. Mikel Arteta will be way cheaper than Luis Enrique or Allegri or Ancelotti. If I don't want Ancelotti to come, you know. It's a joke. And last night we got what we deserve because we don't have a good enough squad. Squad's not good enough. It's sad. I mean, we just have. I mean, Mesut Ozil. I mean, there was a moment where, Mesut Ozil, he's got great technique, yeah? But England isn't for him. And I've tried to rock with him and stand by him, but it's not for him because in a game like that against Atletico, you've got to run. You've got to really work. You're not playing against Marseille. You're not playing in Ligue 1 or Bundesliga where there's a bit more time. Atletico is like a Premier League team in terms of they make it hard for you. They're better than a lot of Premier League teams. So you're going to have to really run your socks off. Try to get that inch of advantage, There was a moment he was walking in the game, and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to rip him apart for this. And sure enough, Martin Keown caught his ass walking and ripped him. It's just like, dude, what are you doing? My man's walking over there. I mean, answer me this. When you play against a team that sits in, and they're probably the best team in the world that's sitting in, clogging up space, making it difficult for you to penetrate, why would you put on a player who's got pace? There's no space to run. So you need all your technical players on the field at the same time to try to combine to unlock their defense. So that means Mkhitaryan should have been on instead of Danny Welbeck. I don't care if he just came back from injury. The man scored at Old Trafford. He had a very good game that day. Yeah, we played our B-Tech squad, but it don't matter. He should have played. And you could say, okay, that's Wenger's fault. Okay, fine. That's Wenger's fault in that regard. Nevertheless, the front office should have never, ever, they should have allowed the man to have money to get a real player instead of allowing Danny Welbeck to come to us from Man United. If Danny Welbeck was never there, he would have never put him in the game. So I'm always going to put it back on the board. Gazidis is a nasty dude. Nasty. If he ever stumbled upon this dude, I hate your guts. You just over here ruining Arsenal. So, you know, we're in dire straits here because it's frightening to think who they're going to appoint, because it really should be. My first choice, Niko Kovac, already went to Bayern Munich, so he's gone. But you know what? There's another guy who was brought to my attention that was talked about years ago when Wenger wasn't even close to retiring, like 15 years ago. And his name is Dragan Stojkovic. This guy he was a dope player, and he was a playmaking type dude. So he now being a manager, he's going to have that creative, inventive style of play that'll suit Arsenal to a T. And because he's not a well-known commodity, he won't be as expensive. But does Ivan Gazidis know who Dragan Stojkovic is? No, because he's a loser. He doesn't know anything. All he knows is Mikel Arteta. Oh my God. You know? That's why Patrick Vieira is new, and Patrick Vieira would be better than Mikel Arteta. You know? But no. The guys that he's interested in, it's a joke. Now they're talking about the Liverpool number 2. That guy's never been the top man anywhere. You want him to be the top man at Arsenal all of a sudden. No thanks. Forget that. You know? So, it's just sad stuff, man. It's sad stuff. Watching the game, we lacked the cutting edge. Lacazette really should have got a shot off when he finally combined and got through, but for some reason he didn't get the shot off. There were a few moments when we could have got some crosses off and got him into dangerous positions, but our final ball was lacking, man. Hector Bellerin lacking, Nacho Monreal lacking, and I love Nacho, but his crosses were off last night, and we just never really threatened them. And I'm not even going to talk about the goal, because if you all know footy, you know who was at fault for that. It was unacceptable. And it all started from some long ball from the goalkeeper. That's pathetic. Pathetic. It's a joke. You know? So, I mean, I had to make this video because, you know, my beloved Arsenal have been knocked out. If you go back to some of my older videos, I did say that, like, it would be better for us not to even win this competition, because it needs to be put to light how far off the pace we are. We have a shell of a squad. A shell of a squad. Honest to God, if this was FIFA, you only keep Lacazette and Aubameyang. Everybody, and Ramsey. Everybody else got to go. Everybody. Oh, and Mkhitaryan. We'll keep Mkhitaryan too. So, you keep Mkhitaryan, you keep Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ramsey, and everybody else has to go. Everyone else. Are you hearing me? There's no salvaging anyone. Even Nacho. Nacho's gonna go because he's kind of old, not necessarily because he's not good enough. He's old, you know. But that's how rotten our squad is. That is just not good enough. Only 4 guys are able to stay and contribute next season. But you know that's not going to happen. We're going to keep all these same guys. We're going to bring in a new manager with only $50 million to spend, and then think that something's going to change. We're destined for lower than 6th next season. We're destined for mediocrity. The games against Burnley, Everton, Leicester, who else could be in there? Who else? Brighton. Those are going to be massive games for us next season, because we're not making moves to ensure that we're going to be fighting for top 6 again. And all you guys are yelling Wenger out. And you know, none of this would have come about if you guys weren't yelling for that. Yeah, it's on you a little bit. If you weren't yelling for Wenger out, the front office would have never even known there were games going on. So Wenger would have been able to stay there and try to patch things together and get us and keep us afloat. Winning those 3 FA Cups in the last 5 years, that's all Wenger, because the squad really wasn't that good enough. It really wasn't. So, I mean, it's just, it's dark days. Dark days for the Arsenal. It would have been a crime. Even if I could have found, I was telling my colleagues yesterday at training, even if I found a magic lamp in the 92nd minute and I could rub the lamp and say, give us 2 goals to send us to the finals, it wouldn't have been just and fair to football, because we are just not good enough. We would have, even if we had found a way to get to the final and play Marseille and beat them in the final, it would have been a crime to world footy if Arsenal won the Europa League this season, because we are not good enough. Even that Red Bull Salzburg team, they're way better than us. I saw the extra time over there. They have 10 guys over there that I would love for them to play for Arsenal. If those Red Bull Salzburg dudes played for us, that guy Berisha, the center forward, the Asian dude, oh, we would have beat Atletico yesterday. But no, instead we got Granit Xhaka. Come on, man. Granit, bruh, he got to go. He's got to go. Does nothing. Does absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. It's just not good enough. Not good enough. But we got what we deserved. I think Roy Keane said it. The players got what they deserve. And it's a shame that, Wenger's career is going in European competition ends the way that it did. But it was always on the cards. The man never had a squad to begin with here this season. Not good enough. We have a first team that can't deal with a long ball. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. And people say, what's Steve Bold doing? Steve Bold probably sitting there like, come on, man, what do you want me to do? I tell him, look, the long ball's coming. Drop off a bit, get up and head it out. They can't do that. If they can't do it, what are you going to do? You have to, if football has become so expensive, you're going to have to spend. You're going to have to spend. They talk about Mourinho, they talk about Pep, how much money the Manchester clubs are spending to be competitive. But hey, man, that's what it takes. You got to spend. So I don't fault those clubs for spending money. We're going to have to spend money. Dude, I would even be, it would show ambition if our club hired Luis Enrique. And he's not my first choice. Jardim at Monaco would be awesome. As I said, Dragan Stojkovic would be fantastic. But Luis Enrique would show ambition and let the rest of the world know, like, oh, Arsenal's putting everybody on notice. They're spending big bucks on Luis Enrique. They're giving him $175 million of transfer kitty to go get players. I know he wants 200, but we're not gonna give him everything now. Give him 175 million, go get players, and also be back. But nah, man, we're looking at Mikel Arteta and that Liverpool number 2. Oh my God, who else are they looking at? Oh, Brendan Rodgers. Come on, man. And even Brendan Rodgers, if we got Brendan Rodgers, I'd back him. I'd be like, yeah, okay, do something for us, Brendan. But when that goes sour, you think it was bad with Wenger out, Rodgers out going to be even worse. So, yeah, man, we got what we deserved. The players are just not good enough. And Juve said they want Bellerin. They want him as a squad player because that's all he is, a squad player. So, I would love for them to try to drive a hard bargain with Juve and tell them, listen, we'll give you 18 million and Bellerin if you give us Rugani. We want that boy Rugani at center back. He'd be great for us, But it's not going to happen. We'll just sell Bellerin for 50 million, take the money so they can build this guy's ranch in Dallas or wherever it is in Texas. Kroenke, and then Arsenal will be without a right back, so then they'll make somebody else, some makeshift right back next season to go and stop the likes of who are the top strikers? Of Jesus and De Bruyne and all those guys. So yeah, man, not good enough today. Or last night, we lost at the Metropolitano 1-0. Yeah, no matter what happens, I'm really worried about what's coming, but I'm going to be by the Arsenal no matter what. But we just weren't good enough. We haven't been good enough all season, and I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. So Gunners, hang in there. It's dark days, but one day the sun will shine on us again. All right? But aside from that, FC Red and Blacks had a good training session last night. We've got State Cup tomorrow morning. It's on and popping. So if you like the convo, subscribe. Wish the FCRB boys all the best tomorrow in their matches, and we'll be back. Ciao.